If you've been thinking about buying a pair of New Balance but you don't know which one or what size to get, well, you just clicked on the right video. My name is Josh and I love New Balance shoes, whether it's the classic 574s, the very popular 9060s, or something new like the 204L. I'll be breaking down which New Balance models under $150 fit your style, and most importantly, I'll tell you exactly how each of them fit, because New Balance sizing, it's not a one size fits all. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's start off with the New Balance 574. This is an all-time classic, so much so in fact that it's the shoe that inspired the shoe emoji on your phone. Depending on the colorway, these typically go for between $90 to $100, and for that price, they are really comfortable. One of the most comfy shoes you will find at that price range. This shoe features New Balance's end cap technology, and it also has great arch support. Pretty good quality on this pair as well. Most pairs are usually made of suede and mesh, and if you have wide feet, the good news is that this pair does come in wide sizes. It's a really easy shoe to style as well. They come in a lot of different colors. My personal favorite is probably the navy ones. And for sizing on these, well, these do fit pretty big because they're quite wide in the midfoot area, even if you go with the normal width shoe. So for me, I always go a half size down in these than my true size. And for reference, my true size is a size 11. I'm going with a 10.5 in this pair. At that size, there's the perfect amount of room in the toe area, and it doesn't feel too snug either in the midfoot, so I go with that. Moving on to the next shoe and staying in that same price range, there's surprisingly a lot of good New Balance models for around $100, and one of them is this, the New Balance 530. This shoe has gotten quite popular recently. We've seen these 2000 style running shoes become really popular nowadays with the rise of brands like Asics, and the 530s fit that category. It was originally released as a running shoe, but it's much more of a lifestyle model nowadays, and it's another very comfortable option from the brand, and it features the Absorb technology, and this is the same technology that you see on much more expensive New Balance models like the Absorb 2000, for example, which is nearly twice the cost. In terms of materials, they're usually made of mesh and synthetic leather, so you're not getting the more durable materials that you normally see on the 574, but at the same time, these are lighter. It's also another pair that's quite versatile and easy to style. For sizing on these, the first time I got this pair, I got them in my true size, and there was a lot of room in the toe area, almost an entire finger's worth. So I went with a half size down, and these fit me much better. These shoes just feel great on feet. They're so lightweight, their cushioning is great. So if you're thinking about which size to get, I would definitely say go a half size down from your true size. The next shoe I want to talk about is the New Balance 740. And as you can see, it is a very similar looking shoe to the one I just talked about, the 530s. In terms of price, this one goes for $10 more at $110. And the main reason for that is the upper. The mesh that's used on the 740 is thicker, so it's a bit more durable, especially for harsher weather conditions. But it also means that the 740 is slightly less breathable than the 530s. It also feels slightly heavier. But in terms of looks, as you can see, both these shoes are nearly identical. They both feature that gap right in the middle of the midsole. The 740 is a slightly higher model, and it also has the same Absorb cushioning that the 530 does. And throwing these on feet, they also have exactly the same sizing as the 530, which for me is to go a half size down. As I said, there's quite a lot of room in the toe area, and you'll notice that if you go true to size. Personally, out of the two models, I do prefer the 530, not just because they're lighter, but I guess I just like the visually how these panels look compared to the 740s. But that's just me. I think both of these are great options. Next, we have to talk about this pair right here, the New Balance 2002R. This shoe, which New Balance brought back a few years ago, became one of the top selling shoes for the brand, and it was this pair right here, the Protection Pack, which a lot of people, myself included, called the sneaker of the year back in 2021. And New Balance actually retroed this entire pack, all three colorways, earlier this year, so these were actually really easy to get. And if you love sneakers and you missed out on these back then you absolutely had to get that restock, because not only is this still one of the most worn pairs of shoes in my collection, I think it's simply one of the best New Balance shoes, period, to release in the last 5 years. It's got that retro modern look with a mix of suede and mesh, and it's a perfect all-day wear type of shoe. I've traveled in these, I've walked a lot of steps in these, and for me, they're great. My feet don't hurt. And when it comes to sizing on this pair, so I got these in my true size, and for me, they fit absolutely perfectly. The toe box on this shoe is nice and wide, which is why it's one of my favorite New Balance models. There's so many different versions of this shoe as well, with all kinds of different materials materials. But if you're looking for an all-time classic, you can never go wrong with this protection pack colorway. So back in 2022, because of the success of the 2002R, New Balance then released this pair, the 1906. Another retro, but this one I would say it has more of a techie type of look to it. It does still look quite similar to the 2002s. It gives you that classic dad shoe look with the reflective elements and just the amount of overlays on this pair. There's just a lot more going on this pair, I would say, than the 2002s. Usually these shoes come in mesh and synthetic leather, like your typical 2000s runners. One key difference with this pair is the N logo. So it features this N-lock technology, which basically tightens around your midfoot area when you lace up your shoe. It gives you more of a snug feeling. Both the 1906 and the 2002R feature this energy midsole, which is very, very comfortable. I would say on feet, this cushioning feels a bit more responsive, a bit more bouncy than the Absorb cushioning. And for sizing on this pair, definitely you want to go with your true size, just like the 2002s. I would say in terms of the fit, I actually like the way the 1906s feel on feet slightly a bit more, because it gives you a nice snug feeling in the midfoot area. But I'm picking at straws here, honestly. Both the 1906 and the 2002s, really comfortable shoes, and I would go with either one. Another pair that New Balance retroed recently is the New Balance 1000. And this is a shoe that has quickly become a bestseller for the brand. It's got a very bold look, a very streamlined, futuristic design almost. When the shoe first came out back in 1999, this type of look was really popular, and it is now popular once again. It's a shoe that reminds me a lot of the Nike Air Max 95s, especially with those wavy looking leather panels along the side. And you'll notice it has this leather strap that goes all the way down the tongue, and the laces go through them, which is exactly like it looks like on the Air Max 95s as well. This is yet another shoe that features the Absorb cushioning. It seems to be the most commonly used cushioning in this price range. And this colorway right here, it's a special one. It's the Gray Day colorway, and in my opinion, just one of the nicest colorways we've seen on the 1000 so far. The one thing to keep in mind with this shoe is that it is quite long, and it looks kind of long too on your feet, which is why definitely for sizing, I go a half size down in these. When I went with my true size, you definitely feel how long the shoe is. There's a ton of space in the toe area, but you don't feel that space going a half size down. It might feel slightly narrow, I would say, near the pinky toe area, but I still think overall it fits way better at a half size down than true to size. Maybe for the wide footers out there, you guys might disagree and want to go with your true size, but I think for most of you guys, a half size down will fit best. Now this video would not be complete if I didn't talk about this pair. This is the New Balance 9060, and saying that these are popular is an understatement. This was a huge hit for the brand that took off, and it is a completely new model. These sell out consistently, and it's for a variety of reasons. First of all, these shoes just look very unique. They look like no other shoe that New Balance sells, and an underrated part of the shoe is just how cool it looks from the top down. It is extremely chunky, and some people love that, and also people just swear by the comfort of this shoe. I've heard a lot of you guys say that this is one of the comfiest pairs of New Balances that you've bought. My personal opinion on the shoe is that I feel like it looks a lot better in the smaller sizes, because in big sizes like myself, these look really big on feet. But one way to get around that big look is to wear these shoes with some more baggier fitting pants that kind of go over the shoe and hide just how big the shoe is. Comfort wise, these feel amazing on feet. They feel so comfortable. They're so nice and wide foot friendly. Even the wide footers out there, you guys can go true to size, and that's the size that I wear on this shoe. I go with my true size. And I have to say that in terms of looks, this shoe just looks so great in a lot of different colorways, and my personal favorite is just an all over triple black. Be careful with buying these, because I feel like once you get one, you might want to get even more. The last shoe is also the latest shoe that New Balance has released, and that is the New Balance 204L. This is a pair that looks nothing like any of the other shoes so far in this video, because as you can notice, it's much more of a slim down model. The midsole on these is quite thin compared to some of the other models, and that's because this shoe is meant to be a more budget friendly version of the Miu Miu New Balances. I did an entire review of this shoe recently, and if you watch that one, you'll know that I'm just a huge fan of the shoe. I think it fits in perfectly with the type of sneakers that are trendy today, which are more slim down silhouettes and also the Y2K style shoes. Like, you get both of those trends pretty much in this pair. And the retail price on this is great. They only go for $110, making it one of the cheapest shoes that New Balance currently sells. While they definitely aren't as comfortable as the other shoes that I've talked about in this video because there's just not much cushioning on this pair. You're just getting a basic EVA midsole here. It's still a lot more comfy than other shoes from other brands in this price range, like your Nike Air Force Ones or your Adidas Sambas, for example. And I love them. I think they look amazing on feet. They look great with shorts. They look great with pants. Very versatile shoe, and I'm looking forward to seeing a lot more colorways of these. If you found the video useful at all, please hit that subscribe button and like this video. It helps this video get pushed out to a lot more people and tells the algorithm that you found it useful. And give me a follow on Instagram. I'm dropping content on there almost daily, and it's the best place to reach out to me. If you guys want to see a video talking about the more premium New Balance pairs, like the ones above $150, I can do an entire guide for those as well. Let me know in the comments. And thank you guys so much for stopping by and supporting my content. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.